the way the truth once stood. A kingdom of confusion carved out of falsehood. But he walks through the ruins like a prophet reborn. A voice once in fire, a light on this dawn. The chaos watches with an all-seeing glare. Guardian of reason in a world unaware. When the overlord stalls at the edge of the frame, the faithful rise up, they already know his name. I'm here to resurrect the second coming of common sin. I come to wake the sleeping, the church to bring the fed. Overloads, no illusions, no hollow interpret. He's here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Misled, thinking truth from the wreckage, raising dawn from the dead. Every word is a weapon, shot men declare. Exposing every shadow we pretend not to fear. And the overlord rises with the suffering command. A beast of judgment, the mortal chemist dead. On his growl rings through the silence of the night. The loyal understand, treating keeps the battle is right. I'm here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. I became the chaos of found to
Welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Watch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. What is going on? Shout out to Lil Toes in the building. Loving the vibe of the music. We got a music video coming for it, so stay tuned for that. So yes, if you didn't catch it from the title or the thumbnail, today marks 6 months to the day that we lost Charlie Kirk. I mean, it was September the 10th, but you know, we have February only has 28 days, it's not a leap year. So yesterday to the date, today to the day, and I could think of no other thing that I would want to do. Look back at some of the stuff that he has been doing. So I wasn't sure which way we want to go. So I pulled up the last full Prove Me Wrong event that he did, and we can go through that. But I will put up a poll on the landscape stream to see if you guys would rather just see this one through, or there's a different one that TPUSA put out that's like top 10 moments. Either way, I am down. Shout out to Vindoc. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Indeed, a big dilly to Charlie Kirk. Indeed, indeed. And remember, guys, if you are on the vertical stream and you don't want to be, you can click the description and the link to the landscape one will be over there. Again, that is where all the good polls are. But whatever floats your boat. As always, guys, if you can hit the video, please do let me know. Let's go.
Question, we have a line forming here. If you disagree, you can go to the front of the line. Let me just say, this is a much bigger crowd than we'd get in Ann Arbor. Much bigger crowd. We don't like them over here, right? Great to be here, guys. Oh, actually, is the question line both sides? On this side, okay. Over there. Thank you, guys. We'll be here for a little bit, and thanks for being here, guys. You bet.
Hi, what's up, Charlie? My name is Roderick. And so for over 10 plus years, I identified as a gay man, and then I gave my life to Jesus and left the LGBTQ plus community. And my question to you is, what is your response to those who say that conservatives and God hates everyone in the LGBTQ plus community?
Well, I think it'd actually be better for you to respond to that because you've received that you're no longer of that. Here's.
I was gonna say, it's just on its face, like that's just wrong and stupid. It's just wrong. That's not what it is, and it's a cop out that people who don't agree try to slander the argument and make you, oh well, you're just hateful. No, nuh-uh.
The true but more provocative answer that your identity should not be in your sexual proclivity. It should actually be your identity is much greater than just what you do in the bedroom. Being gay is a behavior more than anything else. And
that I disagree with. I do think that while there are people who have situations that go on in their life and that leads them to being more interested in homosexuality, I do think by and large people are either born gay or straight.
You, I guess, are evidence, and I'd love to hear your story, that you could stop acting on that behavior. So tell the audience more about you would identify as gay and it's not. Tell us about that path and that journey, because I'm told that can never happen.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people tell me that you are what you feel. You are your attractions, you know, you're quote unquote born with it, you know, there's just many reasons why you have same-sex attraction that will never leave you, and that is who you will always be. And I believe that lie for almost 10 plus years of my life. I slept with men.
But if it's a lie, then why is it that the overwhelming majority of people never ever have an issue with whether or not they are interested in the other sex, or rather the same sex, but some people very clearly struggle with it?
Many times, watch a lot of porn, dwelt in a lot of sexual sin, and just gave my body up because that's what I thought love was.
Right. So maybe the activity specifically that you were engaging in was bad for your mental health, but not that it was with a man. If you were having more healthy, at least according to a secular perspective, if you were having more healthy relationships with people and they just happened to be men, I don't think that you would have, hit this rock bottom. But I mean, hey, if you're happy, then I'm happy.
And that's what I thought it looked like until I met Jesus. And he helped me to see that I was never meant to identify as a gay man, but I was always meant to be a son of his, and have a new identity and a new life in him. And I walked away from that lifestyle for over 5+ years now, and I have never looked back because Jesus is way better than the sexuality that I was partaking in.
Praise God.
He's like, I never look back.
Are you happier and more joyful that you're no longer participating in a homosexual lifestyle?
Oh, 100%. Like before I met Jesus, I was filled with so much depression, anxiety. I wanted to kill.
Right. So this is another instance of correlation. So some of you might remember there was a time that Papa Lutch was talking about one of the clients at Safe and Gentle. We have a laser tattoo removal company that we started. And there's this guy who was, real down bad, doing drugs, doing this, doing all that. And he turned his life over to Jesus and, everything got so much better. And so my dad's like, you should have him on the channel. I'm like, why the fuck would I want to do that? Why would I want to do that? Leave the man alone. I happen not to believe in the things that he believes in, but if believing in them is keeping him out of jail and off of drugs, then why would I want to stop that? And so I think there's a little bit of that's swept under the rug when we talk about the correlation between, I was doing all of these bad things before, and now I'm living a better life. It's like, well, maybe God and religion specifically is a part of that. But even without God, if you're doing a bunch of degenerate shit and then you stop doing a bunch of degenerate shit, you're also going to be happier. Shout out to Ryan. Welcome. That hairline. Oh, man. Yeah, it's like this goes. Sometimes I'll see a hairline and yikes.
Myself multiple days of the week, but Jesus came and healed all the brokenness inside of me.
Jesus
and
came.
I love being a son of his rather than identifying as a gay man.
Well, and so To answer your question, there is not hatred. There is still what we have as conservatives and Christians is a simple understanding that God has a certain sexual ethic that we should try to abide by. Everybody has temptations that you have. They have proclivities that you have. Some people are more likely to gamble. Some people are more likely to be compulsive liars. You don't have to act on those temptations. I am curious though, like, so in your own sexuality right now.
So based on that, I would be interested to no. Oh, you're talking about Charlie's? Yeah. No, that's fine. Let's keep it respectful, but I mean, yeesh. But what was the other thing I was going to say?
Temptations.
Oh yeah. So I would ask Charlie, if he were still here, if he thought that the mindset of being gay and enacting gay activities would be the same thing as when I was a drug addict and doing drugs. Like, would he put those in the same category? Because I never felt any internal pull to start doing drugs. Like, I had other shit going on in my life that I definitely wasn't happy, but I never had any pull to that. And so, yes, I can decide to not do drugs anymore because that's not something immutable to me. But if gayness is, which I really don't know, then I don't know if that's the same thing. Shout out to Lone Wolf and Cub. Welcome. Bad boys. What you gonna do? Welcome. Do hit that poll. I'm gonna keep it up for a little because this is the one that we're watching is the most recent event. But we could switch over to the top 10 if you like.
Some people are more likely to be compulsive liars. You don't have to act on those temptations. I am curious though, like, so in your own sexuality right now, do you still feel attracted to men? And I'm asking because just because you feel an attraction doesn't mean you need to act on it. Is that correct?
Yeah. So yes, I would.
So you're still gay. You're just celibate. Got it.
Say that I still do have attractions towards men. It's not as much as it used to.
Exactly. So this is an innate biological pull that he has. And fine, if if they're in his life specifically, if there's an overlap between engaging in gay activities and depression and degeneracy and all those things, then I also think that he should not be doing those things. But let's call it a buck. He's just a gay guy that's not fucking. He's just a gay guy that stopped fucking and started going to church instead. Shout out to the viewerski. Welcome. Everyone likes men with money. Oh. You know, whatever floats your boat. Welcome, sir.
I would say that I still do have attractions towards men. It's not as much as it used to be 5 years ago. But I've learned that it's not really about whether or not I have attractions towards men still. It's more so about whether I have a relationship with Jesus, which I do. And that relationship with him far exceeds any attractions that I acted on in the past. And my life with him is so much better. And just because you become a Christian, leaving the LGBTQ plus community, that doesn't mean that your same-sex attractions will go away, but it does mean that you will have a God who loves you, who will walk with you, and who will give you eternal life through him.
And
shout out to Dylan. So the only man inside him is Jesus. Fair enough. I'm just saying that's why I had the question about the addiction, because yes, I still do. I don't still feel the pull to go and do those things. As much as I miss the experience of being high, I don't feel like if you gave me, like if you said actually, I was going to say, if you say my neighbor had some and was going to give it away for free, would I do? Okay, maybe I would. But, you know, like if I found out that there was a guy down the street who was charging normal prices better than ever I had before, then, you know, I just like, that's not what I'm into anymore. Versus we see this guy saying that, well, I still think about man's dicks and shit, but Jesus makes me not do it. It's like, well, then you still, it shows that the default for your biology is to be attracted to other dudes. Shout out to Jay. Welcome. JC will not stimulate the prostate. Yeah. Ooh. Yikes. I've never had any kind of penetration on that. Like, leave my butthole alone, please. Leave my butthole alone. Welcome. We also got equality and deference because vagina over on Rumble, along with Go On Tech here on YouTube. Both saying, liked, and shared. Thank you so very, very much. You guys know that stuff helps so very, very much. It's free, it's easy, it takes just a second, and it doesn't even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link that you shared. Just by you telling YouTube, Twitch, or Rumble that you want more people to see it, they will show it to more people. Welcome. And RIP to Charlie Kirk. And oh my goodness, thank you to Equality. Said Dilly, rest in peace. Oh, he's down here already. He's sleepy? The weather's been warm, so we've been taking more walks. Eat it, motherfucker. There we go. Thank you. Oh, where are we? Sorry, birdies. I'm trying to get him. I'm mirrored. There we go. Thank you so very, very much. Starting us off on that swole. Very much appreciated. And of course, rest in peace, Charlie. Thank you so very, very much. Before we hop back in, Jay said, how do you know if you're at a gay picnic? Shitty hot dogs. Ugh. Thank you, Equality. Let's dive back in.
You will have a God who loves you, who will walk with you, and who will give you eternal life through him.
And let me just say one other thing, very important thing. We want people to be free from sin, because sin means suffering. And then when you are captive to sin, for example, I, like many men in this audience, struggled with pornography, 10 years ago, whatever. Getting through that. We all have something we struggle with. You should never affirm the struggle. You should try to break free of the struggle, and only Christ Jesus is able to do that. Thank you so much for your time today.
Can I get
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yes, let's go.
Thank you.
All right. So again, guys, I do have. All right, I'm gonna if we get to 6 straight. Whoa, what is this? Where are we? That's weird. There we go. If we get six votes for Charlie's top 10, then we'll switch over. But I do want to give you people coming in an opportunity to see what is good. And oh my goodness, shout out to Viewerski saying Hillmore, no, hail Morty. Thank you so very, very much with the $10 PayPal. Where's my applause? Where my applause? Thank you so very, very much. Yummy. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Very much appreciated, gentlemen. Thank you. Let's dive back in.
So nervous. Sorry, it's first time. A little nervous. All right, so I have a friend named Thomas Sheedy. He is the founder of an organization called Atheist for Liberty.
Let's go, Atheist for Liberty. Let's fucking go. Even though I personally have decided to stop using the title of atheist because of the fact that it comes with too much baggage. I am a paying member of Atheist for Liberty, and Thomas Sheedy is another one of those people who has been on the platform. If you are interested in what kind of stuff a leader of Atheists for Liberty, the based atheists, as we say, would like to say, check that out. Shout out to Thomas Sheedy.
Thomas Sheedy, he is the founder of an organization called Atheist for Liberty. He is openly conservative, but he's mostly interested in atheist activism and normalizing atheism in all sects, including the conservative movement. He seems to be under the impression that a lot of conservatives, including you, are more hesitant to work with atheist organizations. Is there any truth to that?
Yes and no. I mean, if you're an atheist and you want to be part of the conservative movement, go ahead. But you must.
Go ahead. Whatever. There's a million bajillion people who want to steal your vote for the demonic Democrats. But whatever.
Be an honest atheist and acknowledge that morality is definitionally subjective without a belief in God.
Yep. Also, with a belief in God. It's only the knowledge of God that makes it objective.
That you
and actually, wait. No. I always make this mistake. You can have objective just means from an objective standard, meaning that it's not based on feelings. So if you have a standard that isn't God but is objective and always works the way it works, regardless of the situation, that is also objective. It may not be absolute; it can be flawed. And so, like personally, I use the basis of Aristotle and his virtue ethics. That is, those are ideas that are set in stone. Whether they are right, whether they are wrong, whether they apply to every situation, whether they're better or worse than Christian values is a whole other discussion. But exactly, agnostic free thinker. I go with agnostic non-theist just to kind of poke the bear a little bit without taking on all the weight. But exactly. He knew Erica and the Juice Mafia was gonna take him out. Uh-oh, the conspiracy theories are coming out. I really don't know what to think about all of that. If you guys know Jesse on Fire, He used to be a MMA YouTuber, and sorry, I'm just trying to get this banner. He got into other stuff and has been talking about the Charlie Kirk thing, and specifically what Candace Owens has been saying. And we started around the same time. His channel's a lot bigger than mine now, but I'm trying to get him on and see what exactly is going on. Should we believe what Candace is saying? I don't know. Before we dive back in, Equality said morality is subjective, even if it is dependent on God's mind. Bingo. Also, even if one granted magic God ethics as being objective, humans still subjectively understand and apply it. Bingo. Yup. But, Christians don't like the truth too much. All right, so I see 7 votes for Charlie's top 10, so I do want to hear our boy from Atheist for Liberty here, and then we'll switch over to the top 10 moments of Charlie Kirk, R.I.P. Shout out to Jennifer. Welcome to the party. Let's do it.
Morality is movement. Go ahead, but you must be an honest atheist and acknowledge that morality is definitionally subjective without a belief in God. That you cannot be an atheist and believe in objective morality. It is an impossibility. And true atheists will acknowledge this. At some point, you have an ought claim. Well, things ought to be a certain way. We as Christians, or we that believe in the divine, we have is claims that murder is wrong. Whereas an atheist will say, well, murder ought to be wrong, because you can't have an objective definition if there is not a divine eternal power over you.
Right. And so even in that situation, what the Christian is saying is what the Christian is saying is murder is wrong because God thinks it's wrong. That's still a subjective aspect. And so if God's preferences are unchanging, then okay, fair. That is objective, but it is not absolute. And they like to switch that around. Shout out to Angry Amputee. Always will be missed. Yep, you got it, Equality. You got it. Welcome. Let's dive back in. This guy is from Atheist for Liberty.
So look, if an atheist wants to fight alongside of us to end abortion or to try and end the massacring of our kids, that's called gender affirming care. Or if an atheist wants to march alongside of us to say no men and female sports, they're more than welcome to be able to do that.
All right, clip it, guys. Charlie Kirk. Sound part of the club.
But Atheist for Liberty is an interesting phrase, because I don't believe you can have liberty without God, because liberty is not man's idea, it is God's idea. That's just my own personal belief, and it's also the belief of everything that built this nation. But yes, I know a lot of good atheists. The question, though, is how do you know they're good? It's because you're appealing to a moral authority above just the secular material realm, one that is transcendent, we would believe, given by God.
Well, I don't believe in objective morality. I do know there are plenty of atheists who are moral objectivists.
Are you an atheist? Sorry to interrupt. But...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So let me can I ask you a question? And I know this is your first time at the mic, so I'm just going to try to be tender in doing this.
Okay, appreciate
that.
So
you don't believe in objective morality, right?
I personally don't.
Okay. Was the Holocaust objectively wrong?
And so you could say, so that he's going to go down the Andrew Wilson route. And just because I can't say that it's objectively wrong based on an absolute authority, that doesn't mean I can't say it's wrong. Jared said it's absolute for us believers because we're younger than God. So there is obviously the understanding that you believe it is absolute. The issue that I have is that, okay, I'm willing. If we have an absolute morality, then any kind of question on what's right or wrong goes out the window. It's just whatever God says. But we have to prove that God actually exists. And so when that can't be done, then they revert back to, well, how do you know that these things are wrong? Because God told me they're wrong, so how did you come up with it? And my God is absolute, but your reasons are not.
Even objective morality, right?
I personally don't.
Okay. Was the Holocaust objectively wrong?
Objectively, no, but it'd been better if it didn't happen, because most people wouldn't want that to happen.
So that's
Speaking of, real quick, I just watched this movie from last, I think it was last fall, with Kurt Russell being the second in charge Nazi guy going through his Nuremberg trial. I mean, Hollywood, it's a Hollywood Nazi film, so obviously it's going to be framed that way. But the most sympathetic I've ever seen a Nazi portrayed on film. Very interesting. It's on Netflix now, in Nuremberg. Check it out. Yep, that's what I got. I mean, I'm willing to believe, but I don't know.
Happen because most people wouldn't want that to happen.
So that's where we are on different planets. And that's okay. I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm trying to be graceful in the way that we're going about this. Do you think Hitler was objectively evil?
No, because it's subjective.
And so this is a cop out. This is an emotional argument. You don't think? Yeah, equality was Russell Crowe. What did I say? Did I say Russell Brand? Whatever. Yes, Russell Crowe. But like, oh, you don't think it was objectively wrong? No, but I don't think it was any more right than you do. It's a semantic game. This guy is not saying that the Holocaust was good. He's just saying based on how philosophically, and Charlie knows this. So a little bit underhanded.
Was objectively evil?
No, because it's subjective.
But I just hope all of you guys understand he's being an honest atheist to your credit, because
how would you know that? I really don't want to do a whole fucking religious thing tonight, but I mean, it comes up. But again, you would have to know about how would you determine that this is the truth about your God without being able to understand that God? It all makes sense. Glum6 said, I was checking out some new towns to buy a house in soon. One of them, I saw a guy drive by with a car decked out in RIP Charlie decals. Both me and the wife agreed that town was probably the one. There you go. That is not true. I give the same answer anytime anyone asks. I don't know, but if a God exists, he would. That is the answer I will give till the end of time. Oh, not Kurt Russell. Russell Crowe. Yeah, in Nuremberg. I don't know. I'm not God. As you are all saying, that is beyond what I could understand. So I don't know. I'm just a lowly human. But if there's a God, then God understands what would convince me and has chosen not to bestow that upon me.
All of you guys understand he's being an honest atheist to your credit, because as an atheist, you're not allowed to say anything is objectively right or wrong.
Shout out to Stan. Exactly. Even if God grounded morals, God grounded morals, that is subjective also. Yep. Some people get it. Some people don't.
I come from a worldview that when you butcher 6 million people, that is objectively wrong, no matter what. And it's very important. It's a very important truth claim, because when you do not have objective truth anchoring your society, then it becomes a power struggle. If you do not have truth, then power will reign. Whoever can get the most amount of power then ends up having the most amount of say over society. We believe what is objectively right, true, good, and beautiful.
I don't know. What do you think is the most valuable thing in the universe?
Should be transcendent over society. Your thoughts?
So do you believe objective morality specifically comes from the Bible?
Yes and no. It's in nature, and the Bible explains nature. So objective morality can be discovered in many different cultures and societies, pointing towards what we believe is the ultimate objective truth, Jesus Christ. C.S. Lewis explained this the best in his book, Abolition of Man, which is that almost every religion talks about a certain way to live, a Tao or a path that we should be on. And so more simply than just the Bible, we believe in what the founders believed, which is an ethical monotheism. That there is one God. He has a general way that he wants you to live. For example, murdering is bad, kidnapping is wrong, defense of the innocent, and we should do our best to try to live alongside of that path.
Okay, well, I think those are very interesting examples. You bring up the founders, you bring up Hitler, but Hitler was a self-proclaimed Catholic, and he called Nazism a Christian movement. Okay,
what would convince you that my backyard has a horse in it? From me sitting in my chair, what would convince you without me having to get up that there's a horse in my backyard? If I got up, obviously I could show you, but are you sure that there's no horse in my backyard without me getting up? You don't know. But if I have the horse, I could prove it.
Yeah, I would be careful saying that. He was not. That's okay.
He called himself a
could be AI
Catholic. He specifically said in 1927, our movement is Christian. They had on the belt buckles God on our side.
Oh, okay, so then answer it.
Yeah,
they swear to the Almighty God. Atheists were not trusted to be in the SS.
Even if I grant you that, despite the fact that he killed a lot of pastors and priests, and there, of course, you can pervert things in the name of God. No one denounces that. Just as a side note, though, far more people died under the banner of atheism than Christianity in the 20th century. Mao was an atheist. Stalin was an atheist. Pol Pot was an atheist. Believing in no God actually led to the destruction and the murder of well over 100 million people. And that's fine. So again, if
Like I said, this is this is the kind of stuff where I was never impressed by Kirk. Follow the logic. All power comes from God. Hitler's power, therefore, came from God, with God knowing what Adolf would do. So how is God good? I'm just saying it's not as simple as you guys try to make it seem just because it hasn't been challenged in the way that you haven't heard it before.
atheists want to come alongside us as conservatives and fight for what is good, that is great. But I will never acknowledge that atheists can tell me what is a
How can I pet a horse in my backyard without getting up from my chair? I mean, obviously, there's not going to be a one-to-one analogy with God. The point is that you not having enough information to know what would prove to you that fire is actually magic. What would prove to you that computers are sentient? The point is that it's a question that is beyond my knowledge, so my inability to answer it has no bearing on the truth of the answer.
objectively good. They can only give me a preference. They cannot tell me what is right. And preferences eventually will lead you towards moral and societal decline.
Okay, so
Unless they're Christian principles, right?
well, I think you just listed a bunch of communists, and it's worth acknowledging the vast majority of atheists are not communists, just like the vast majority.
Bro, one time I almost burnt down a whole fucking forest because I used to be a little pyro, bro.
Christians are not theocrats who don't support the divine right. It's also worth acknowledging that the founders were actually inspired by Enlightenment values, not by the Bible. America was founded as a secular nation. We were the first quote-unquote godless
I did
constitution.
say that. Run it back. I said that.
Yeah, again, I've done this so many times, so I don't know if we want to waste our time.
But again, even if it's not there's obviously, because again, that's not not an unfalsifiable claim that there's a horse in my backyard, and also we know horses exist, so that already is not a perfect analogy. I'm just saying that's why I'm bringing up other examples like the fire, like your inability to know how you can be changed to the right answer doesn't mean that the answer that you believe now is the correct one. What would convince you that I could go with all these things that you don't know, but then it would happen. You'd be like, oh, now I'm convinced. Did you know what you were looking for before you were convinced by everything that has ever changed your mind? Or has somebody been talking to you and something just came up and you're like, oh, okay, that's a good point. I never thought of that. Something like that. That's all that I don't know, but God does. If he exists, that's all that means.
Doing this, but 55 out of 56 of the signers of the Declaration were Bible-believing, church-attending Christians. 9 out of 13 of the states at the time of ratification required a declaration of faith in order for you to serve in the states. Our birth certificate, which is the Mayflower Compact, said explicitly, we are here to spread Christianity throughout the land. It was the first great revival that led to the American Revolution of Jonathan Edwards and Jonathan Mayhew and George Whitefield that preached all across the eastern seaboard. John Adams famously said the Constitution is written solely for a moral and religious people. It's wholly inadequate for the people of any other. We were a Christian nation that was able to embrace the idea of a free society. God is mentioned 4 times in the Declaration of Independence. Not only that, Jesus Christ is mentioned in the Declaration of Independence, where it says we.
All right, well, he's rattling on. I just wanted to address this. Shout out again to the pit. Oh my God, those firework injuries are no joke. No joke. And so Jenner says, I don't have to wonder. Jesus revealed himself to me. I am very lucky. I know. I can't put faith in others, though. We all have to go through our own journey. And that's totally fair. I am in no way looking to say that you are wrong or your positions are untenable. I don't believe that that's what happened. I believe that you had an experience that you believe is Jesus revealing himself to you. But that's, that we can agree to disagree. All right, so you guys, we want to go to the top 10. Let's go to the top 10. Best top 10 Shirley Clark moment.
My name's Erin. I'm a really big fan, and I'm really excited to see both.
Nipples! Wait, real quick. How is it that every sitcom or TV show in general in the 90s and early 2000s all had scenes like this where it just be nipples popping out? And now that just doesn't happen. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just asking why that was a thing. Like, why? It's very, very odd. Anyway, what did she say?
Hi, my name's Erin. I'm a really big fan and I'm really excited to see both of you. I'm a little stressed because I feel like I could ask about, gun violence. I could ask about anti-Semitism on campus. But I feel like with an opportunity like this, I would really appreciate some personal advice. I'm here at the University of Pittsburgh as a social work major and I'm really passionate about it. However, I have found that I'm leaning a little bit more Republican and I feel like I come at a standstill with that. And I really just want to get your advice moving forward for myself. There's some obvious things I think you can think that would conflict, obviously.
Am I the only one who prefers like a smaller natural tit to a bigger fake tit? That's going to a poll. That's going to a poll.
Things I think you can think that would conflict, obviously. I guess that's kind of my question. What advice do you have for me as a Republican aspiring social worker?
What would conflict?
Oh,
I don't know, like,
shout
how
out to
say it
Vivek.
properly.
Shout out to Vivek. That's funny.
I think I can help. The social work industry is very much about a perspective generally of that people in poverty are there permanently and not trying to break people out of poverty into the middle class or higher levels.
Right.
And that's why the Democrat Party and social work are very intertwined.
Right, exactly.
They view poverty not as a series of choices, but as a station in life that is immovable largely.
Right.
Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say. That's why my personal focus is on the children in underprivileged communities, because I personally feel like they don't choose to be put in that position. But I'm having a little bit of a difficult time empathizing with the older generation of underprivileged, and not in every community, but I don't.
We're supposed to pause there, like.
I don't know how to not sound bad. I know you are great at not sounding bad when you say stuff, but I don't want to say something that'll get me in trouble.
Shout out to Jason. Welcome to the party.
Well, here's one way to look at it. And Charlie, that was helpful, actually. The Great Society from Lyndon Johnson. It was a series of policies that were designed to help underprivileged communities.
Right.
They hurt the very people they were supposed to help.
How?
Well, the reality is it created dependence on government. So you have a lot of single mothers, for example, that are paid more money.
Daddy government. Shout out to Aaron. It is the 6-month anniversary of us losing our boy, Charlie Kirk. So I figured, let's keep his name alive and check out his life. Welcome.
The reality is it created dependence on government. So you have a lot of single mothers, for example, that are paid more money not to have a man in the house than to have a man in the house because of the way the math of these aid programs
What do you
work.
mean?
Well, often the way the math of the aid is calculated is if you have an earning husband in the household, that actually causes you to disqualify for forms of federal aid that were designed to help you.
Right.
But actually, the best way to get kids in your own household ahead is in a two-parent household, because if you're raised in a two-parent household, you're less likely to end up in jail, less likely to end up in poverty, more likely to graduate from high school.
Did she say she was a single mom? I was, for some reason, a little distracted.
So one of the ways that, if you're asking for
Right?
advice,
That's what I'm saying. Like, what? I understand the bio, but like, what are you? Whatever. I could go on for a fucking minute, but let's just stay on topic and respect the Christian Charlie Kirk.
poverty, more likely to graduate from high school.
How are you gonna start up top 10 Charlie Kirk moments with Vivek Ramaswamy? I mean, no shade, but come on.
So one of the ways that, if you're asking for advice, I would say for the people around you, even who might lean left, you can recognize their intentions come from a good place.
Absolutely.
But the policies of their leaders have actually betrayed the very people they were supposed to help. And you can let them know, because I believe this is genuinely true. Not just the Republican Party, but our conservative movement. We care.
Look at the chat on the bottom. Twitch let it through, but YouTube did not.
About lifting people up from poverty. We just care about actually doing it rather than talking about it. That's what I would say.
The other thing I'll say is that we as conservatives believe that if you're in poverty, it's largely because of values, not because of lack of stuff.
Like what values?
Not saving money. Spending all of your money in your paycheck as you get it.
Right, that I'm entitled to because I have X amount of dollars that I can spend X amount of dollars, and if I go into debt, well, that's society's fault.
For example, abandoning your spouse after impregnating you. Not spending all of your money on alcohol and drugs and instead opening a 401k. So values are the number one predictor of entering the middle class. And there's a great book called Life at the Bottom. You should read it, by Theodore Dalrymple, who's a social worker in the United Kingdom. It's called Life at the Bottom, where he got into social work because he wanted to help people. And he realized it was not a lack of stuff. It wasn't lack of housing, lack of food stamps. It was that their value system was one that kept them poor. So yeah, really quick, then I want to get to the next
I'm
question.
just struggling because in all of my social work classes right now, they're talking about all of those things. And
They're wrong.
I was just gonna say, I've been the algorithm on TikTok has shown me that there's a lot of black people who are waking up to, you know, the issues of the Democrat, not just the Democrat Party specifically, but the messaging on black people. The whole, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That they're starting to see, oh, we're just pawns, and I think that is very important. Shout out to Angry Amputee. Said Morty put me in debt. Don't go into debt, guys. But he does need food. He does need food. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So very, very much. And of course, a treat for the Overlord. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So very, very much adding to the stream goal. Remember, guys, it's not just $1 amount. We 15 super chats or any kind of donuts in total will count. So don't go broke. Thank you so very, very much. Aaron said, both my baby mamas left me after having my babies. Oh, women, right? Shout out to George, said it's almost always drugs that keep people poor and homeless. I disagree. I think that there is a correlation, but I would think that which keeps people poor and homeless is also which keeps people on drugs. I think it's the other way around. Because, you know, again, I was just talking about how I used to be a drug addict, and I was, I was not doing great, but it was a confluence of a bunch of other things going off, in my life. So it's definitely a lot of connectivity, but I don't know if we could pinpoint it to that one. Shout out to Box in the building. Welcome. It just showed up. So Charlie is sitting on a stool under a hut, and it put a pit in my stomach. I'm sorry, brother, but 6 months we will never forget. Welcome. Amazing that the party of slavery, anti-civil rights, and the KKK couldn't get in black votes to vote for them. Well, no, I think it's amazing that the party of anti-civil rights and the KKK could get black people to vote for them for so long. Right, that's the crazy part. Black concern now, fair enough. Nah, I'm good. Let's dive back in.
Because in all of my social work classes right now, they're talking about all of those things. And
they're wrong.
So what do I do? I'm trying to learn about what I want to do.
You just learn that they want you to know that, pass the class, and understand that you were taught a bunch of bullshit. And not even just throw it away, but understand why it was wrong.
I think you need to stay in social work because you're called to do it. But there's an amazing amount of literature from Thomas Sowell to Shelby Steele to Theodore Dalrymple that get down to actual root causes of poverty, which is not lack of stuff, but is worldview. And I think that'd be super helpful.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Trump 2024.
Yes, that you want a hat?
Let's go. And it really does come down to what's called locus of control. We have what's called if you have an internal locus of control, then it means your mindset is typically going to be the things that happen, I have control over it. So if something goes wrong, then I have at least some control versus where, and therefore accountability versus the external locus of control means that, oh, the world is just happening to me and I can't help it. And poor me. Leave our I'm gonna call you Lee. Lee said I'm a Democrat. Welcome. We got a couple of those in here. Vivek was deported. What you talk about, Willis? He said social work pays nothing and you do so much BS paperwork. Yeah, I was potentially gonna go into that, because I went to school for psychology and I was gonna go there, and then I realized it's just not right. It's just not right. Gonix said, learn the rules so you can know what rules are worth breaking to succeed even more. Bingo. Exactly. And we got more God's Hammer over on Rumble. Welcome to the party again. Said, liked, and shared. Very, very much appreciated. Again, that stuff is free. It's easy. It helps out so much. It does not even matter. If you think anybody's going to click on the link, just blast it out there, and they will show it to more people. Before we dive back in, 100% of you said a full B cup is better than fake double Ds. Agreed. All right.
That's great. Thank you. According to the way that the asylum laws
Number
are
9.
written, the entire nation of Mexico applies under asylum. Do you think that you have a right to immigrate to America? Is diversity and inclusion really an American ideal?
I knew
Are you okay with deporting every illegal person that's here? Do you think that the American government should first have a obligation to citizens before foreigners? Nobody is asking these questions. We're just saying, if you want to come in, you can come in. Do you see anything wrong with, I don't know, taking in 5% of the population of Haiti? If someone comes into your dorm room uninvited and they do the dishes and laundry, they can say,
Boobs.
okay?
If I'm not going to do my own dishes, heck yeah. Hi. All right.
Hello.
Oh, we get a full trailer for this one.
Hi.
Okay.
I'm going to start off by saying I'm a political science student. I'm a second year here at K-State. And I'm a first generation student.
Try to turn it up a little bit.
Turn it up a little bit?
Yeah, perfect. Great. Thank you. And what's your name again?
Alondra.
Nice.
Alvarez. Yeah. So I just had a question because you talk a lot about like protecting and securing our southern borders. But as
Well, not the fake ones. Not the fake ones. That's how you know they're fake, because they're old. They're 60 years old and they're still up here. I'll take a little bit of sag over very clearly. That ain't it, Lee. We can, we can make little jokes, but if you're gonna be outwardly disrespectful, like, come on, it's always the Democrats. It's always the Democrats.
I had a question because you talk a lot about like protecting and securing our southern borders. But
Exactly,
as
Aaron.
a granddaughter of immigrants, I think that we get into a lot of complicated disputes with the idea that immigrants are criminals or drug dealers and things like that. So I just want to hear what your opinion is on those.
No. Illegal immigrants can be those things because we don't know who they are. Immigrants who are vetted, like my parents and her grandparents, we know are not those things because they were vetted.
Expectations or those what do you call it? Those stereotypes that are put on Hispanic communities, Latino communities, and how they change the way people perceive immigration.
Latinos have got to be so fucking happy with the Somali shit. They're like, Nick Shirley, let's go! Oh, yes, now immigration's about them and not us.
Sure. So, thank you for the question. So you said you're the first generation student or first generation American?
I'm a first generation student.
Cool, great. Second generation American? Did I hear that right?
Third generation American on my mom's side.
Great.
Second on my dad's.
When your grandparents then, is that right, came to this country, did they do so through the legal process that was in front of them?
So my father got married to my mother. So he's a legal resident of the United States. She's been here her entire life.
But did she enter legally?
She did. She's born here. Yeah.
Got it.
My grandpa on my dad's side entered in illegally.
Okay. So I'm not here to like insult your grandpa, right? But we must be very clear that the type of immigration that we support is when you follow our rules and you come on our terms, and that you do not.
I mean, the other one was she wasn't like a model, but I mean, I wouldn't kick that one out of bed. This looks like the girl. Oh. See, this is I hate that you guys don't use TikTok. There's a trend. There's a video that's viral as fuck right now. This mid-ass normie looking kind of chubby Indian girl is taking a video in her car, and it's like, I think this guy that I'm dating, like, I think I might be the first baddie that he's ever been with because he can't handle it. Like, that's essentially the whole video, and everybody's like, honey, oh, honey, no. But yeah, the other one was all right.
Support is when you follow our rules and you come on our terms, and that you do not break into a country uninvited and you try to cut.
Can I add something to that? The reason why he left, and a lot of people in Mexico do, is because of the political state, especially in the 70s and 80s, when they decided to move. They have a government that isn't supportive of their constituents, and because of drug problems, their only choice was to move.
Yeah, I totally sympathize. That's not true. It's never the only choice to commit a crime, and we should not put up with it. And so it is an insult to other immigrants from Vietnam and Laos and Pakistan that have to wait decades in line to morally equivalate people that come in and just break in. Oh, I have an unstable country. Like half of the world's countries are unstable.
Yeah, but that's why we have the asylum seekers program,
which is heavily abused. And we're talking two different things. Asylum seekers and walking into the country illegally are
only the absolute best social media platform in existence, but you wouldn't know that.
Similar but different things, right? And so we have millions of gotaways of people that we have no idea who they are. They're not declaring asylum. They just run across the border.
And this should show you CRXR saying when someone breaks into your house, you don't say, hey, come on, sit down, I'll make you some dinner. And they obviously understand that. But this shows how strong the propaganda is, that they can twist such a basic notion to oh no, well, we just have to be nice to them because reasons. Like, what? Why? Well, because it would be mean. Like, shut up.
are similar but different things, right? And so we have millions of gotaways of people that we have no idea who they are. They're not declaring asylum. They just run across the border.
Well, because they can't. The system doesn't allow other people to, from Mexico specifically, to assign themselves
who they are the last couple of years. So look, we just have to be very clear with this: is that if you come into the country uninvited, you have committed a crime and you are a criminal. And we could decide that we're not going to enforce our laws, or we could say that when you are a criminal, you should then be punished for that crime, aka sent back to your country of origin.
Interesting, Box. So again, CRXR said when someone breaks into your house, you don't say, hey, come in and sit down and we'll make you some dinner. And Box says sometimes people come into your house out of a great reasonable fear not to cause harm. You have to be able to tell the difference. No, the fuck I don't. Get out of my house. I never agreed to let anybody be take haven from anything in my home. So now, if someone comes and knocks on my door and said, hey, I'm trying to get away from something that will not put you in danger, can I hide out here? Then maybe we can have a conversation. But whatever reasonable fear they have, why would I want to bring that into my home? I'm in my home right now, and there's no reasonable fear. Why would I invite that into my home? Right. So, okay, 10 years ago, 10 years ago, no, definitely not. Hell no. Hell no. Dad's graping her. Dad's beating her where she's like bloody. Maybe. But I'm not letting a 10-year-old girl into my house because she said her daddy's mean. What are you talking about, bro? Yeah, right. But he didn't. To be fair, he didn't say. He did say come into your house. He didn't say necessarily break in. But I assume, Box, that you're talking about the DoorDash driver, or at least thinking of the DoorDash driver who was running away from ICE and ran into those people's homes, and then the white people were like, "Oh my God, their fucking children were home." So I'm sure that DoorDash lady was. Yeah, exactly. You need to wait the fuck outside, and especially Box, if you got guns. You can put them on the porch and you can be watching from the window. I absolutely. Fair enough. But again, the situation Box is pointing out is that that is a situation where you would be more likely. Because again, yes, if a little girl came up to my door and was like bleeding and shit, then yes, I would let her into my house. Let her into my home. But A, that's my choice. And B, that still is inviting whatever reasonable fear she has into my home. And again, I can make a decision to say, okay, because this 10-year-old girl is so helpless, then I'm willing to take that on. But that is absolutely not my responsibility. Hell no. Forget I have that button. Do you guys have any topics to link into? Also, you're trying to get me in trouble, brother. You're trying to get me in trouble. Quality said, also notice how these tender, loving, orgasmically empathetic Democrats don't want the sainted illegals in their neighborhoods. 2 buses of brown people freaked out. Martha's Vineyard people out. 50. Not 500. Not 5,000. 50. And it was the end. We don't have the space. Okay. Anyway.
And we could decide that we're not going to enforce our laws, or
nope. How am I to determine that he really needs help? Nope. I got the camera. I could talk to him from outside. Like, bro, what do you need? I'll call the cops. I'll tell them to come to come here. I'll record everything so that anything else happens. No, some 17-year-old kid is not coming into my home.
And you are a criminal. And we could decide that we're not going to enforce our laws, or we could say that when you are a criminal, you should then be punished for that crime, aka sent back to your country of origin, because you were not invited. And it is an insult, again, to the Poles and to the Czechoslovakians and from the Senegalese and people all across the world that don't have the proximity to luxury just to waltz into America.
You call it a luxury to leave a country that has political tyranny, and
when other people have it and you don't, then comparatively, yes, it's a luxury.
Come into a country with opportunity.
Yes, to live in Mexico, to be able to go 100 miles north and break into America. Do you know how many people in Pakistan would kill to be on that border?
That's why we bring them in.
Well, we shouldn't, right? That's the point. And secondly, do you think that
what is an honor box store? I've never heard of that.
You have a right to immigrate to America?
I think that I didn't have a choice. My grandparents made that decision
Okay,
for me.
and I'm not trying to attack your grandparents, but no one has a right to go to anybody else's country. You are invited. It is a privilege, not a right, to come into America.
So it's a privilege to live a life that requires
Yes.
you to have.
Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely. And thank you to all of the people who fought to be able to give me the privilege that I can sit in my chair and not worry about all the things that those people worry about. It absolutely is a privilege. But what does the left say? Privilege is invisible to those who experience it.
Have clean water, clean food, clean
yes,
air.
of course it is.
And you have to fight for that?
Yes, it is not.
But we didn't.
Hold on a second. Well,
Born here,
hold
we
on a
didn't
second.
fight for that?
Well, my ancestors did fight for that, actually, and I'm a very thankful recipient of many generations of Americans that fought for the greatest nation ever to exist.
Exactly. Shout out to Dick Johnson. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you, sir. CRXR said, without borders, we have no sovereignty. Without sovereignty, we have no control. Our country will become something else, something that the taxpayers don't agree with, perhaps. And we're already on that road. And I'm not about it. Jason said, Democrats in Congress want to hide illegals in schools, hospitals, churches, and polling areas. To them, the ends justify the means. Box said is where you put things for sale into a box outside and people come. I have heard of these. That's cool. But like, you must live in an area where there's a lot of, wait for it, honor. Unfortunately, when you live among a bunch of thieves, what is the famous thing that thieves don't have? Honor. And said before Kirk died, I always kind of scoffed at him and considered him a prude. But now in hindsight, I see he was the spiritual leader we needed. Yep. And again, this is saying this as a non-believer. It said I brought the Martha's Vineyard thing up to a friend of mine in Atlanta, and he told me they took the migrants in and didn't bust them right back out. Then what happened, bro? David's friend? Come on. Charlie Kirk was the voice of reason. When the voice of reason becomes the most opposed voice, you know that society is at its end. Indeed. Original prop said, except this is what the country has been doing long before you were born. You kids are so over the top. What are we talking about? Anyway,
recipient of many generations of Americans that fought for the greatest nation ever to
By
exist.
doing what? Coming here?
Well,
illegally?
What did my ancestors do?
They
came over here in 1620, fought in the Revolutionary War, fought in the Civil War, fought in World War I.
So because my grandpa didn't come here in
II.
1620, it gives him no right to have a good life?
He can fill out paperwork and wait in line like the rest of the world. And then we can see whether or not it's in our best interest to allow him to come in. And
like I said, I'm trying to get Jesse on Fire on the channel. I gotta hit him up again. I forgot. But he's been going like on the deep dives with Candace, and he believes that I'm not exactly sure, but that Charlie might not be dead. I don't know, but I'm trying to get him on and explore that whole conspiracy. Because I mean, did we get any real information? And I mean, for a while, it was definitely like, oh, Erica Kirk is just, dealing with this and grieving and also trying to run a company. But she was also doing some weird shit, too. So, I don't know.
And then we can see whether or not it's in our best interest to allow him to come in. And so we have to weigh costs and benefits. I'm not saying we should have no immigrants, but immigration must be a net benefit for the American homeland and for the American citizen. We have brought in 10 million people in these last couple of years. We have now brought in 5% of the population of Haiti. Nobody is asking these questions. We're just saying, if you want to come in, you can come in. Do you see anything wrong with, taking in 5% of the population of Haiti?
Not necessarily, no. If we have the land.
Resources. Okay, we have the land specifically where like we won't run out of physical space. But as we can see, if you look, 10 years ahead of what this would bring, look in the UK, we don't have the resources for this. Morgan's Hammer said, Candace is crazy. Well, that's what I was thinking, but apparently he has a different way to see it. And I'm open to anybody's perspective. Just those evil looking eyes. Jason said, I live in Massachusetts. They shipped the Martha's Vineyard's immigrants out the next day, bro. Yep. Wait. It was the next day or was it either way? Yeah, it was. They did not last long. We got plenty of people to process. I say no more till we get through the current list. Yeah, we got lots of space, but space is not the only thing. But I'm with you, Bucks. There we go. Dilly dilly to that. This used to be the bipartisan opinion. I mean,
and then the resources to house them. It shouldn't be that big deal to bring in immigrants.
Really? So
it shouldn't be that big of a deal. It shouldn't, but it is. Shout out to Glow and Dark. Welcome to the party. Say, what's up, my dilly dillies? Welcome. David said, Charlie Kirk isn't dead, then he isn't the man everyone thought he was, because he would not perpetuate this great deception on people. I agree. I don't think it makes much sense, but again, I'm here to listen.
We have brought in 10 million people in these last couple of years. We have now brought in 5% of the population of Haiti. Nobody is asking these questions. We're just saying, if you want to come in, you can come in. Do you see anything wrong with, I don't know, taking in 5% of the population of Haiti?
Not necessarily, no. If we have the land and the resources to house them, it shouldn't be that big deal to bring in immigrants.
Really? Do you think that the American...
Wait, if you want to pretend like everyone watching this show is a rightful citizen, aside from the Native Americans, none of us belong here by your own definition. Deport everyone. We're all illegal on stolen land! That's an organic one. I mean, he didn't say it specifically, but that's an organic one.
The American government should first have an obligation to citizens before foreigners.
Okay, I think we have an obligation. Here's the thing.
Wait, Glow and Dark, are you a girl? Because you're the second. This is the second time I've seen you say Queen Bey. So if you're a girl, that's fine. But if you're a dude, then that's a little gay coded.
Yeah, we're obligated because we're citizens to have the rights that we have, but that doesn't mean we can't open up our borders.
That's not the question. Hold on a second.
To do so.
You, being a younger American, and everyone in the audience, is the first generation in American history to have it be worse off than your parents. So the social, and you agree with that, social contract, poor, more expensive. So wouldn't it be rational for the American government to say,
just kidding. Between you, of course. I was just going to say, between you and Box, or between Box with the Icky and you with the Queen Bey, what the fuck is going on here? This is the Macho Man Show, okay? The Macho Man Show. Only macho men.
Social contract, poor, more expensive. So wouldn't it be rational for the American government to say, we're going to prioritize younger generation Americans that are American passport holders and citizens before those in another nation?
Well, I'm an agnostic, so I would vote against that. And let's put it to a poll. Would you support all non-Christians being deported? Yes or no? Let's see what the people say.
I don't want to say anything that offends people, but
go ahead.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I said it, right? I've already said it. Whatever. I think that the way we're going about it is wrong. And that if we don't have a clear path to citizenship, we won't open up those opportunities.
Okay, if you're gay, then that's fine. Then you get to say gay shit if you're gay. But Box is not gay, and he says icky, so that's gay. If you're gay and you say Queen Bey, that's not gay because you are actually gay. Make sense?
It is wrong.
Ironically, everybody understood that.
And that if we don't have a clear path to citizenship, we won't open up those opportunities for people to come and seek a good life. But I also think that, we are required to have those rights ourselves.
Seeking a good life is fine. It's a nice added benefit. Our government does not exist to improve the life of foreign citizens.
We got 2 more no's on the poll over from Rumble. Morgoth's Hammer and Equality said, fuck no, and not a chance. The poll is icky. Yeah, well, you're icky. You're icky. What about that?
Benefit. Our government does not exist to improve the life of foreign citizens.
We should be open to the idea of accepting that.
Of course we are, if we have our own house in order. We are in chaos right now. We have the most depressed, suicidal, anxious generation in history. Our birth rate is collapsing. Kids can't afford homes. You guys are drowning in debt. You
must be super MAGA, right, Box?
Compete against jobs. You have to compete for jobs against foreigners. Our country is a mess right now. And so when your country is a mess and your home is in disarray and bedlam, your own government should say, time out. I have a heart for the people of Haiti. I have a heart for the people of every country. But you're not coming here until this generation at least has it as good as their parents.
But it's the stereotype that I'm given as a Mexican American to fulfill those standards that people.
Nobody cares. listeners. How many fucking people do you see in my chat every single stream that come in? Hello, 7-Eleven. You probably smell Jesus. People are stereotypical and racial and racist. Get over it.
Type that I'm given as a Mexican American to fulfill those standards that people have on immigration
I
as
don't
well.
share that. I haven't said that here today. There's people from all over the world that enter the southern border now. There's 118 countries that come across the southern border. But I don't care if you enter illegally from Bulgaria
So do I.
or from Laos or from Mexico or from Nicaragua. Someone who does not have their paperwork when they come in is by definition breaking federal law.
Yeah,
And
but,
so then what should we do with someone who breaks with federal law?
but does that mean that people, including
Notice how she didn't answer the question.
their children, their grandchildren, including myself,
not
have
you.
to live with the stereotype or the standard set upon me that I am a criminal, I
I'm
am
not
a drug dealer, I am a
Prove it. Prove it. So Dick Johnson. So right now we've got 8 votes. We'll put it there. 8 votes. 75% of you. 75% of you said no. We don't want to do. What exactly was it that? Yeah. So MAGA creates a law tomorrow. Unless you're a Christian, you don't belong here. Laws are laws. People, laws. People. Yeah. How do laws get enacted? The people enact their will. The will is not there to deport non-Christians. So you're just saying things.
I see.
Okay, so I played into that stereotype.
I heard it many, many times, not from you specifically today.
Okay, but then it's a little bit of a red herring, right? Because we're not even talking about it. I'm not.
Well, my original question was, what do you think about it?
What do I think about stereotypes?
About the stereotype given to immigrants right now and children of immigrants and people of color here.
Well, I can't talk about something I don't believe in. So, I mean, I don't want people to be stereotyped. No different than when you look at a young white man on campus, you think he's a rapist, right? Which is.
No, I don't.
Well, that's good. No, but that is a stereotype that is pushed sometimes.
Wait,
Like,
she's saying she doesn't do that, or she doesn't think that's the same thing because she does look at every white man and think rapist.
want people to be stereotyped. No different than when you look at a young white man on campus, you think he's a rapist, right? Which is.
No, I don't.
So again, she doesn't agree, or she doesn't do that. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she's saying I don't assume that every white man is a rapist.
Well, that's good. No, but that is a stereotype that is pushed sometimes. Like, oh, if you see a young man on campus, it's campus rape culture. Stereotyping is wrong. It should not occur. But we also must understand that the way that we constitute our immigration policy.
All right, new super chat thing. $2 for a poll. Send in a super chat with $2 and give me the poll question and the responses that you want, up to 4, obviously. And we'll do whatever poll you want.
Also must understand.
So obviously, we all hate commies.
That the way that we constitute our immigration policy right now in this country is not in the benefit of the American citizen, and we're acting much more like a colony than a country.
Mm-hmm.
And where a country is where you have ties that bind you together, you have a shared history, hopefully a shared language.
She actually does look a lot like the girl who was like, I might be the first baddie. She looks very similar.
You have a shared culture where in colonies, you come from anywhere across the world, and so be it.
Yeah, but isn't that like the point of America? Diversity and inclusion and belonging.
Where?
Yup.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Where is that in the Constitution or the Declaration that diversity and inclusion, these are false ideals that are taught in school? They're, I guess, nice, but is diversity and inclusion really an American ideal?
I think so.
Where does it say that?
I think that everyone has the right to live out their own individuality, their own lives, and their own way.
I know, but
what exactly does that mean? We all have the right to live out our own individuality in our lives in their own way. To what extent? If my own, I mean, this is, it's cliche, but at this point, what if my, the attack helicopter thing? What if that's my own individuality? We have to, yes, have the value of individual liberty is the highest, in my personal opinion. I guess underneath the basic shared reality that we have.
But you say the American ideal. Where do you get that from? Yeah, pursuit of happiness for Americans. You're right, because that's what the Declaration
I'm an
was
American.
written for. No, that's fine.
Does that mean I'm not valid here for having a diverse background?
No, of course you are, but I'm saying that what?
So can I not express that?
Don't change the topic. You said we should be able to open up the country for people from all across the world.
Yeah.
Why do we believe that is a core belief?
So you are just saying things, but fine. If you don't trust MAGA, that's fair. Don't trust the MAGA movement. The waters have been muddied, and as a result, the youth is being persuaded to vote against their own self-interests. It's exactly what they told me to get me to vote for Hillary Clinton. Democrat playbook, it does not change. Consistency is key.
Country for people from all across the world.
Yeah.
Why do we believe that is a core belief?
Because we want to help people. That's the point. We came here a
Got it.
long time ago. We established a country a long time ago, and we want to have other people come in, I think, to live in the luxury that we live in now.
Last question.
I knew you
Are
were,
you okay with deporting every illegal person that's here?
No.
Why?
Because there's some people here that are not represented well by the media. There's a lot of illegal immigrants here that are working their butts off for the life that they want.
I don't care if they're working hard. But the point is, what should the punishment be for breaking into a country?
Depends on the crime you commit after you break into it.
Okay.
Did I ever say you were a Democrat? When did I say you were a Democrat?
No, that's it. I'm talking about just the crime is breaking in. What should the punishment be? I break into somebody's home. What should their punishment be?
What does somebody else think? Let me take your thoughts and repeat them as my own. See, the irony here. Oh my goodness. Projection. You're the one who came in here talking about MAGA this, MAGA that. You guys are retards. I did not ever say that you were a Democrat. I said your opinion. I specifically addressed what you said. Oops.
Can you repeat that?
Oh, so if you behave after you get here, that's fine. So to play that out, if I
rob a bank, but then I don't rob a bank after that, then I should be allowed to rob that bank?
What? Comes into your dorm room uninvited and they do the dishes and laundry, they can stay?
If I'm not going to do my own dishes, heck yeah. They're doing my
And this is where we leave good faith. This is where we leave good faith.
dishes for me. Cool. If they don't kill
But also, I would choose the bear in the woods.
me, I'm not dead. It is what it is, man.
Well, they are killing a lot of Americans, but...
You say they. Like, they are?
Yes,
like,
they are.
Hey.
All
Were they
illegal
not?
immigrants killed people?
Nobody's
That's crazy.
No, see, they is a generalization. All means all of them. Words have meanings.
Illegals do. Actually,
first of all, she kind of is, but also, yeah.
Crime rate for illegals is far above that of native-born Americans. And even if it wasn't, it would not be there. No, but it's just interesting. The punishment for the crime of breaking into a nation should be what it is in Switzerland and Israel and Hungary.
I thought you were saying deport an illegal, even if it's a single white woman over age 45, which I agree. But, the awfuls are awful.
Every person who breaks into a nation uninvited goes back to their country of origin, period.
So why
End
is
of
there an
story.
emphasis on the southern border?
Because most people come illegally through the southern border. 10 million people have come across the southern border. And by the way, do you have any concern for the 320,000 missing kids that have also been sex trafficked across the southern border?
I do. I bet you that didn't happen.
Of course I do.
But
okay, then why are you voting for more of it?
Who's doing the sex trafficking?
A handful of people, not
No.
everybody else.
Right, a handful of the illegal immigrants. So maybe we should stop all the illegal immigrants to make sure that none of them can traffic children.
120,000, that's a lot.
The children.
Yeah, but each one of them has a handler.
And
that means that 320,000 sex pimps are bringing in sex slaves to this country.
The point I'm trying to make is that we categorize all illegal immigrants under the same thing. Sex traffickers, drugs.
No. We are establishing the true fact that under the umbrella of illegal immigrants, it includes just like in the category of Americans, just like in the category of Englishmen, there are people who are going to be drug dealers and rapists and all those things. And if we have to, hold on, side quest. Actually, I was worried. I was a little worried about this, and I want to make sure that if I ever, if I actually was, committing blasphemy or not. And so I asked the good ChatGPT. I have a YouTube channel where I call myself the Indian Jesus, despite the fact that I'm an atheist. This is somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but also to filter out the people who are going to get triggered at a simple joke like that. I'm often being accused of being blasphemous or using blasphemy, as year 2026 is saying right now. But am I correct in saying that calling myself the Indian Jesus is not, in fact, blasphemy because I'm not claiming to be the Messiah? Yes! Says the AI overlords. You have a solid point. Blasphemy in a religious sense generally refers to showing disrespect or contempt for something sacred or claiming divine authority or status in a way that's considered offensive to believers. By calling yourself the Indian Jesus as a satirical or symbolic nickname rather than making any messianic or divine claims, you're not engaging in any kind of religious offense traditionally considered with blasphemy. Thank you. Come again.
That we categorize all illegal immigrants.
Oh, wait, let's see who we got. We got a couple newbies. Shout out to Dietrich. Welcome to the party. Isn't it funny how sacrifices of the selfless were used to pay for entitlement? Weird. Indeed. Welcome to the party. Democrats offered a candidate that said freedom of speech is a privilege, not a right. Well, in every other country, but not in America. I'm saying consistently, less rights every year. Comparing ourselves to the other nations is stupid. We should be comparing ourselves to 1776 America. I like that. Angry said, even the people on the deportation list should be mad because these illegals will cut in line since they're already here. That's a good point. If I was a legal immigrant and I made it into America, I would definitely want to pull the ladder up behind me. Just like, yo, I'm gonna assimilate. I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna do this, that, whatever. If you guys keep coming in, you're gonna fuck it up for all of us. Good point. I already did, and you are wrong. CR said, well, talking to each other. Yo, come again. Class D amplification is what? What's that mean? Jim Borghini, welcome, said, I'm mad at Daddy Trump. Well, I am too. That's why I would not call him Daddy Trump. But why specifically are you mad at Trump?
Slaves to this country.
The point I'm trying to make is that we categorize all illegal immigrants under the...
I say that because they do the StreamYard will hopefully automatically do it. When you say clip, then they know to clip it. But.
Same thing. Sex traffickers, drug
not.
dealers.
Am I doing that?
And by you saying all illegal immigrants have to be deported.
She keeps smuggling that in. She keeps smuggling. Well, you're saying that because some people do the thing that you're saying all of the things. What do you guys think about the short-term pain for long-term gain? That's what he said about the tariffs. And that turned out not to be true. No pun intended, but yeah, I agree. Gas prices are going to keep going up too.
Sex traffickers, drug dealers.
Am I doing that?
And by you saying all illegal immigrants have to be deported, you're implying that all of them are doing these terrible...
No, two different points. A, all illegal immigrants need to be deported because they are here illegally. B, it is even more important that all of the illegal immigrants get out because some of them are gang members, rapists, and so on and so forth. Still on the tubby taco vendor? What the fuck does that mean?
Super
and
clear.
Not a small percentage of them.
Well, it's not small, actually. 320,000 out of 10 million is not small, actually. That's a serious number. That's 3.2% of all people that came into the country are connected to sex slavery in some way. That's insane, actually. 3.2% are connected to sex slavery. That's like a lot. But anyway, so let's just I want to make clear. If you come into a country uninvited, definitionally you are a criminal.
We're just not going to agree.
It's fine.
What do you mean we're not going to agree? Did you break the law or did you not break the law? So then the next question should be, is there such a thing? Is there such a thing as an illegal immigrant? That should be the next question.
Then final question. What is a criminal?
What is a criminal?
No. What is it? Would you agree with the definition that a criminal is someone who breaks the law?
Maybe.
Here's where I'm thinking.
Right, you're thinking because you know that you know the answer and you know that it knocks down everything that you've been saying.
Stupid.
I don't. Here's
Again, looking to other people. Can anybody help me?
Anybody? Gonna turn it.
Anybody has?
It's not a matter of turning it. It's a very ABC sequence.
She's the one twisting his words. She's the one twisting his words. And yet she's like, what should I say? What talking point? Anybody got talking points? Projection. Insane.
Turn it, and I don't fully.
It's not a matter of turning it. It's a very ABC sequence. If they're not criminals, then tell me what a criminal is. And a criminal is obviously someone who breaks the law. Someone who comes across the southern border broke federal law. Therefore, they are a criminal.
Okay, then we can just disagree.
But you have to tell me
Which part of that do you disagree with?
what a criminal is, though.
Trump.
Oh, Trump. Yeah.
Yo.
You got to come up.
Based. Oh, Trump bad. Oh, based. That was pathetic. Let's watch her feel like she just did a thing.
Trump.
Oh, Trump. Yeah.
She was embarrassed the moment it came out of her mouth. She knew what a stupid thing to say that was. Watch her face again.
Southern border broke federal law. Therefore, they are a criminal.
Oh, the eye roll. Oh my God. They broke a law, therefore they are all criminal. Oh my God. How dare you? It makes sense.
Okay, then we can just disagree.
But you have to tell me what a criminal is, though.
And that little smile, and now she's going up. She's like, oh, I got it.
Trump.
And then look at that face. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have said that. Yikes. Guys, do remember that once the chats show up in StreamYard, I will try to make sure if you delete them that I won't pull them up, but I can't see. And Glow in Dark, you're making me uncomfortable when you're deleting a bunch of stuff. Please don't be doing that. I don't know what that's all about. And guys, also please do not be advertising other people's shows in my chat, especially if you're a mod. Thank you very much.
Someone who comes across the southern border broke federal law. Therefore, they are a criminal.
Okay, then we can just disagree.
But you have to tell me what a criminal is, though.
Trump.
Oh, Trump. Yeah.
Yo.
You got to come up to the mic.
Shout out to Jake. Go Texas. Welcome. Said to ignore laws you don't agree with is a slippery slope that erodes any civilized society. Laws are real and borders matter. Yeah, and I think that you make a good point. And the other side of that is like when you choose to speed in your car, or if weed isn't legal and you decide to do that, or whatever it is, then there are situations where I think it is not immoral to break laws, but there has to be an understanding that that is in fact the law. And so if I believe I am justified in breaking this law, then I'm going to break the I might be willing to break the law, but that doesn't mean I feel I should be immune to the consequences. I should say, like, especially with these protesters, they think because they don't like the law that when they break it, that they have no punishment. Whereas before, protesters had an understanding that, like, oh, I really believe in this shit. So even though I'm going to get arrested, I'm going to go out there and protest. Not anymore. Yeah, I just broke one law. I'm gonna dumb one. Teacher, because she's so oblivious and apparently coddled. I bet her Hispanic parents have an illegal housekeeper. I would not be surprised. You think that's smug? I don't know.
Okay, then we can just disagree.
But you have to tell me what a criminal is, though.
Trump.
Oh, Trump. Yeah.
That's proud. I don't know. I think she was embarrassed. As soon as she said it.
Yo.
You got to come up to the mic. Okay.
She's right behind me.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Can't tell me what a criminal is.
Oh, man.
It's so sad. It's because if you want to really get down to it at the core, and she's a very sweet person who was there.
Drop the link.
The left cannot define core terms. Criminal, woman, racist, democracy.
Do you feel
Oh, we all remember this chick. And you're good, just for future reference. We all remember this chick. I'll ask after. Okay, because I think that everybody was unfair to her. I think everybody was unfair to her. But we'll see what you guys say. Quality said, what is a criminal? Someone who breaks the law for 500, Alex. Well, I said, amazing how you actually have to tell these people not to ever. Morgan Sammer said, is it possible to be smug and embarrassed at the same time? You just synced it. You just synced it. Where are we at? Speeding when you poop should definitely not be illegal. No, and that's. But I mean, I know you're kind of saying that tongue in cheek, but that's a perfect example. They're like, okay, I've got to shit, especially if you got a nice car, you got leather seats. Well, actually, leather would probably be easier to clean up. But so let's say you don't have leather seats, and you're going in, and you're speeding. If you get pulled over, then you're not going to be angry at the cop for pulling you over because you know that you were speeding. You're just like, please, man, I'm gonna explode, and he might let you off. He might let you off. Sea Striker, welcome to the party. Says smugness is usually a cover for embarrassment and insecurity. There you go. There you go. Ah, you remember. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna ask the poll. I'll put up. Jesus Christ. I will put up the poll after the segment. But I think that she was treated unfairly, and they probably edited it for this segment because this is a repost. But if you know, you know.
Core terms: criminal, woman, racist, democracy.
Do you feel proud of yourself for debating college kids who are unprepared to speak in front of an audience like yourself? Hold on. You're 30 years old. We can agree you're 30 years old, right? Do you think that's a little bit silly?
Are you a voter?
I am a voter.
Oh, so I vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization. That's what I'm doing here today. Yeah?
Dilly fucking dilly. We got the oh man. Ah, see, angry said she did it on purpose. Okay, we'll see. Let's see that.
Years old, right? Hold on. You're 30 years old. We can.
This is such a TikTok argument. Yo, you're too old, Unc.
Agree you're 30 years old, right? Do you think that's a little bit silly?
Are you a voter?
I am a voter. I'm a registered
I
voter.
vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization. That's what I'm doing here today. Yeah? Wait, hold on. How is it any different than a professor talking to you?
Then a professor talking to you? Who are you?
Well, important enough for you to come up to a microphone.
Oh!
Actually, when I first saw this ad, I thought it was like an improv comedy thing. It looked so ridiculous that I didn't even think it was real.
Oh, I'm so stupid, and that means that you're stupid.
Well, no, you can see. Look how popular Trump is on your campus. How does that make you feel? That's not comedy. That is a 5-alarm fire for Kamala Harris because she's probably going to lose Pennsylvania.
Now that is comedy.
Look.
But no, I just want to be clear. Is there something wrong with talking to voters?
No, there's nothing
Yes, you're making them think different things than me.
wrong with talking.
Well, that's
to
what we're
voters.
doing here today. It's an open
I
mic.
think that you push a dangerous agenda.
Such as?
Okay, so then that should be what you're talking about. Instead of complaining, why are you should be locked in. Okay, you do this, and why do you do that?
Your stance on abortion rights, for example.
Notice the energy shift. From your stance on abortion.
Your stance on abortion rights, for example.
Here we go.
I think you might be right, actually.
Okay, so
let me ask a question. What is your name?
Gene.
Gene. And what is your understanding of the current Republican Party's stance on federal intervention in abortion?
Well, I know that they want to bring it back to the states, right?
So it sounds like you do know that the Republican Party's current stance on abortion is they're against a federal ban on abortion.
I do
And
understand
we're talking
that,
about a
yes.
presidential election as the
Yes.
important election that we're talking about here.
I understand that, yes.
Great. So again, I think this open dialogue is great. I think it's great you're here challenging Charlie, and I think it's great that he's willing to travel campuses across this country to talk to the next generation. We need more conversation. Now, where's the disagreement, though, on content? Because you can criticize style or why you're talking to people
Listen,
or dumping on someone personally, but where do you actually disagree with
I
the
agree
substance?
with the
It's just icky. Charlie, you're icky.
way that you edit content and specifically frame it so that people look bad talking to you.
Oh, honey, sweetie, baby, you need not help looking bad. This is uncut. And you look retarded.
And specifically frame it so that people look bad talking to you. The way that you edit your content.
We post unedited content.
Let me just ask you one thing though, because personal insults can fly in all directions. Where is an area where you have a disagreement with the conservative movement, with Donald Trump, with Charlie Kirk, perhaps with myself? I was a presidential candidate last year. I think we need to talk about that more in the open. And the more we do, the stronger our country is going to be. We got a long line of people, but I want to hear from you one substantive area where you have an authentic disagreement, and I'd be glad to address it. I'm sure Charlie would too.
You understand that one of the big theories as to why he was killed is because he was no longer supporting Israel, right? Just saying. Just
in
anything
political
relating to any political topic where you have a disagreement. Let's air it.
Okay. I disagree.
You don't know shit about Jack.
Some of the laws that are being pushed in Congress,
such as
that are against the LGBTQ community and the trans community.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm going to give you my view, and then I want to hear yours.
Okay.
My view is that if you're a fully grown adult, 18 or above, you're free to live how you want, dress how you want, marry who you want if you want, if you're over the age of 18.
I agree.
But you are not free to indoctrinate children in schools who are not yet of the age of consent. You are not free, just as you're a 17-year-old or a 15-year-old can't get a tattoo on their own, I don't think that you should be able to go or until the age of 18. And so I'm
going to assume they were talking about trans surgeries. Glowing Dark said Charlie Kirk was controlled opposition psyop. Nah, probably not.
Lines that I draw here is that men are free to claim to be women and swim in swimming pools. You're not free to claim trophies in a women's sports competition.
Some of you know why this is funnier than it actually is.
You're not free to enter a women's locker room. You're not free to change a language, and you're not free to actually indoctrinate our children who
it's improv, but you don't have to yes and.
Or under the age of 5 in schools. Do we agree on the fact that adults should be able to live freely while still treating children differently? If so, we're on the same side of this issue.
Listen, I agree.
Listen. I wasn't paying attention to what you just said. I'm too hot to have to listen to people, okay? I know I'm not that hot, but they'll still fuck me.
With the majority of what you said. However, I don't think that you're understanding the implications of the laws that are trying to be passed.
Look.
Okay, what are the implications? Okay, what are the implications of the laws that are being passed? Vague maxing. She's vague maxing.
Trying to be passed.
Look, we got a head start in the conversation. We got a long line behind you. But my only ask is, forget the personal attacks or the stylistic attacks.
He's like, bitch, you're too stupid for this. I'm sorry. So now, if I'm, they edited it out. But if you remember, this was the girl that there was a part.
Focus on substance. The more we debate that, the stronger we're going to be as a country.
Where her shirt either slipped or she pulled it down to show her nipple. And some people were saying that she did it on purpose to try to fuck with the stream. And I didn't see that. I think the fact that she was, specifically like caught aback, taken aback. That's what I'm saying. I mean, she got them DSLs, bruh. She got them DSLs. The fact that, she was in that moment, I don't think that she would have had the brain power to think about what was going on and also be like, oh, I'm going to take down the stream by showing my nipple. I don't think that, is reasonable. It means they just lost the argument and don't have a good comeback. Yep. I found it ironic that people complain about the baby boomers stealing everything when they were the last generation that didn't vote against their own interests. Gen X and on its half and half to worse. I had you, but you lost me. What's it called? Punctuation is good, guys. Punctuation helps.
Attacks or the stylistic attacks. Focus on substance. The more we debate that.
Yeah, the girl, and then the girl's gone. Oh, I thought you were. Mark, I thought you were making a girl's gone wild joke, but yeah, she like her nipple was visible for a second. They edited it by the time they put it out, but they didn't see it at the time. Actually, I don't remember exactly how it worked. They edited out of this part, but whore.
the stronger we're going to be as a country. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I don't think you're focusing on substance, though. That's the issue.
Hold on. Look, he intentionally tried to provoke substance out of you. And you said, well, I'm worried about some laws Congress should pass. I have to ask, what laws are you talking about? Can you be specific?
The ones, the bad ones. See, oh, there you go. There we go. There we go. So the question is, did she do this on purpose? Or is she just a dumb, not self-aware? Oh, you don't know about them DSLs, bro. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. Somebody in the chat tell him. It was there. Well, it cut away from
Substance out of you. And you said, well, I'm worried about some laws Congress should pass. I have to ask, what laws are you talking about?
So that's what I'm saying. That doesn't look like that looks like she's uncomfortable when she's shifting. I'm trying to be fair. I don't think she's smart enough. I don't think she's smart enough to think about that. And I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say that if you say it's on purpose that you're wrong. I don't know. I disagree. That was her natural position. She was already had her arms crossed. And I mean, we saw the first girl with her fucking nipples like that. You know, sometimes you get like that. And you know, it looks like she went back to do that. It got caught on her thumb, and she pulled it down. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys are right. But again, I mean, she's that dumb, and you think that she's that smart to not only do this, but to understand the ramifications of a live or a video that somebody was going to edit that wouldn't see. I don't think you're right, bro. I don't think you're right with these thin ass shirts that are flapping in the wind. I don't think you're right about that. Yago said I watched live and she knowingly pulled her shirt down for sure. Again, I'm not saying I know for sure either way. I'm saying that I think it is absolutely fair to assume that it was just a thing that happened. I mean, I don't know what kind of fucking star power you think I have, but Morgoth's Hammer said, look deliberate, but she is pretty dumb. So let's put it to a poll. Was the nip slip? I'm purposely spelling that wrong because I have gotten a channel strike for the word dick in a poll. So was the nip slip on purpose? Yes or no? What do you guys think? That's what I'm saying. It takes a lot of thought to be in the moment, thinking about what you're thinking about, being on your back foot, and also be aware of the fact that not only are people watching, but that it's being recorded and going onto the internet. That's just a lot to think about for somebody who clearly doesn't do this. I don't know, but look at it again.
And you said, well, I'm worried about some laws Congress should pass. I have to ask, what laws are you talking about? Can you be specific?
She clearly pulled, but I think I don't know because it's like right underneath. I could see that she was uncomfortable and she pulled it thinking that it was still covering. But it does kind of look deliberate. That's at the forefront of my mind. I think she's too stupid for that.
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous, but this is what you do. This is what you do. You take people.
See that? And see, look how she's grabbing the bottom of her shirt. I think that also speaks to the fact that she's just fiddling and fidgeting. She hasn't been grabbing on her shirt like that the whole time. But now that it's out, I don't know. I think if she wasn't so cute, you would agree with me sooner. I mean, I don't really give a shit either way, whether she's cute or not. I mean, we got a nice little nip slip here. I'm happy either way. But aside from that, it is a legitimate question. And a lot of people said that she was doing it on purpose, and I don't see the I don't see the proof there. Again, I'm not saying that it can't be that. I'm just saying reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt. Oh my goodness.
And you put them under the spotlight, and you.
Well, hold on. I didn't ask.
Okay, wait. Okay, this might be the answer here. So now that it's uncovered, this is going to show the elasticity and the shape of the shirt. And so there might be a thing that might not be obvious where there's a little bit under the boob, there's more elastic to make the boobs look bigger and give a little bit of support. And so if she was there, then let's see how it pops back up.
You take people and you put them on.
See, it naturally comes back up once she is. So it wasn't it was the fact that she's holding down on her shirt. And I think that she was doing that as a fidgety, nervous thing. Look, I have nothing to gain. I have nothing to gain from defending this dumb bitch. I don't know her. I don't think I'm ever going to meet her. I don't care about a thing she says. But I mean, hey, it's an interesting conversation. So again, look how when it comes back up,
this is what you.
As soon as she lets go. So I'm thinking that she's under the impression right now that she's covered. Because otherwise, like Angry was saying, she felt that you could feel the air. Then you would feel at this point.
This is what you do. You take people and you put them under the spotlight.
And when she moves her hand, then she then would have noticed, would have been like, oh, that's what I would expect if she did it if she did it on purpose. I don't know. No. I mean, hey, link in the description if you care that much. Shout out to New Dodge. Welcome to the party. We have spent way too much time talking about this chick's tits.
Well, hold on. I didn't ask you to come up here. You voluntarily came to the front of the line. You didn't have to do that.
You're purposely antagonizing people on campus, asking people to come.
He's just sitting there
up by spreading your weird agenda.
You literally walked up to him.
How? What agenda is that? I'm confused though.
So Charlie, I'll say this. We'll end on this and we'll go to the next question. When I was 18, I'm not going to blame you for this. I also took for granted a lot of the stuff that the media force-fed me, because that's what you know at the age of 18. You say there's some vague laws making their way through Congress that are hostile to trans community.
Do you know how?
I disagree. The way that we use to determine these things are the same mechanisms, the same mental mechanisms that we use to determine other things. So I'm judging you based on how you came to the conclusion on this particular thing than that particular thing.
Those laws actually exist, but I don't blame you if that's what the cable media is feeding you. But let's get to the specifics, and then we're able to actually have an open dialogue. And that's one of the things I've learned over the last 20 years.
I think that the issue is we're getting our media from different sources. Both people are getting media from these skewed sources. The facts that you're presenting are not always correct.
And you're not presenting any facts at all. So where does that leave us?
And that's why we're here with no TV screens between us. So people who have policy-based substantive disagreements, we invite those. I think that's how we're going to get our country back. And as it relates to trans, which you brought up, 18 or above, you're free to live how you want. You're not free to force that onto somebody else.
Leave the kids alone.
Thank you very much.
Progress.
Thank you. Disagreements, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, number 7. Number 7, guys. This is Charlie Kirk's top 10 moments on the 6-day anniversary of his passing. Let's give him one more dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. Damn, 83% of you said it was on purpose. All right, I'm in the minority, but hey, whatever. All right, what is homeboy? Oh man. I tend to lean liberal, and he's got the chain, and he's got the Gen Z haircut. All right.
But specifically on immigration, when I hear about like the Haitians in Ohio, closer. Yeah.
We're all on other titties on stolen land. Dilly fucking dilly.
Taking over cities, and the thing about eating people's pets, I don't know if that's true.
It is true.
But
they're eating the dogs.
Wondering if you could speak a little bit on that specifically, and I'm kind of torn on the election, so if you could also speak on if we have more instances like that in the future, if Kamala Harris gets voted.
Yeah, it's great. First of all, thank you for coming up to the mic, and I want to try to win you over as a liberal for Donald Trump, so you're going to give me a chance, okay?
I will, sir.
All right.
Hey, shout out to New Dodge with the $5. Thank you so very, very much. Morty's taking a little nap. Wake up, bitch. We got food for you from New Dodge. I can't reach any further, buddy. You gotta do it. You gotta go on your own. There you go. You okay? What's the matter? You not eating your treat? Uh-oh, he's not feeling well. We'll see if it's still there. We'll give him a minute. Oh, there it is. I knew you'd take it. I knew you'd take it. I don't know how, but he has an understanding of when the camera is on him, and he doesn't like it. I don't understand. I don't understand. Thank you again, New Dodge, for adding to the stream goal. Very, very much appreciated.
And I want to try to win you over as a liberal for Donald Trump. So you're going to give me a chance, okay?
I will, sir.
All right, okay. That is a true open mind, so I appreciate that. Number one, we have accepted 5% of the Haitian population in this country in the last couple of years. I have nothing against Haitians. I know some Haitians. We can all agree when you accept 5% of any country's population, in addition to all the other mass migration we have, it's too much, it's unsustainable, and a government must start from this core premise. It must have an obligation to fulfill a better life for its own citizens before it opens its border to non-citizens. It's a very, very basic, fundamental thing. And as I said earlier, everybody in this audience is seeing their future worse off than their parents for the first time since George Washington. That's a big deal. Usually, at least kids are as good, if not better, than their parents, and we have that broken. As far as
Is it New Doge or New Dodge?
Donald Trump goes, there are three things I want you to think about when voting for Trump. Number one, home ownership. I imagine you want to own a home sometime in your life, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. In order to own a home, you would have to make $125,000 a year right now just to be able to get the mortgage. That doesn't count your medical expenses, your student debt expenses, your credit card expenses. When Trump was president,
that's the red pill. All right, New Doge. Shout out to New Doge. Thank you. My apologies.
It was $75,000 a year. We were building millions of new homes. Incomes were going up. Why is it that the housing prices have gone up so much? Because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have spent $6 to $7 trillion of unnecessary federal spending, flooded the zone with these trillions of dollars, which have inflated asset prices. Number two, as a liberal, I imagine you don't like war, right? You don't like endless war. Under Donald Trump, it was the first president in 40 years where we had no new wars.
Remember that? Remember no new wars. Remember no new wars. We had a no new wars president. We still have that president. But he's not a no new wars president. Should he be? Maybe not. But he's not.
No Iraq war, no Syrian war, no Russian-Ukraine war. Under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, we have the Russian-Ukrainian war that we spent $250 billion on. We have the terrible situation in Israel and Gaza. I'm very pro-Israel. We can all agree that not a good situation, right? Not favorable. It's just bad. A lot of human suffering, not good to witness. Under Donald Trump, none of that happened. In fact, he brought peace to the Middle East. We had the Abraham Accords, and we had a stable international circumstance. The final thing is the border. Under Donald
Taco Bell used to be like, yo, you got 90 a year, broke as fuck. You got 98 cents. You can get 2 tacos. You're good for a little snack.
Trump, the southern border was the most secure it was in American history, with border crossings at an all-time low. Under Kamala Harris, 10 million people have come across the southern border into this country. We have no idea who they are. They're coming into our communities. Crime is increasing. They're eating ducks and geese and cats in Springfield, Ohio. And that's just like a silly example. It's totally true, by the way.
Why?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. Trump 1.0 and Trump 2.0, not the same guy.
When I looked it up, because the reason I'm asking you is because there's a lot of misinformation. I feel like because when I first heard about your side of the story is what I heard, and then after that, I was hearing that there's no proof of that. So why is that?
Well, there is proof. I mean, we have tons of video I could show you of residents saying that my cat was taken by a Haitian yesterday morning and was grilled on an open fire. They won't accept that as a police report. I know way too much about Springfield, Ohio police reports right now, but they won't accept that as a police report because it's an animal control problem. It's just, again, you have to just look at the residents. Either they're all lying and they're all in on it, or there's something to this. I'm not asking you to vote for Trump based on...
or the propaganda is really strong. Just saying.
You know, cats being kidnapped and grilled and barbecued. I am saying, though, that it begs the question of, can we sustain 10 million people? I want you guys to understand how many 10 million people is. We have 10 million illegals that have come to the country, which is the population of New Jersey. Okay, that is an unsustainable amount. Under Donald Trump, we had the border secure and will stay secure. So those three things. We had a great economy under Trump, and it was easier for you guys to own homes.
We had no war.
Yeah, that I understand it's always going to happen. A lot of people are saying that, and I'm starting to have that understanding. And it was really easy to be a lowercase L libertarian-minded person for Trump before all this, and having to not pick a side, but to determine like, okay, am I going to say that military action that is not a direct result of an attack is always bad? I don't necessarily believe that. Of course, we all remember the Forever Wars. But as DJ was saying before, if there's anybody who's going to do this kind of shit, I'd rather him than anybody else. I'd rather we don't have to do it at all. But if it is inevitable, and I mean, again, Trump is the one to do it. I have no idea, but I am super fucking puny, which is why you should donate. We are 4 out of 15 donos and $19 out of 75, where I got to do push-ups for every $2. Help bulk me up.
And you guys are closer to World War III than ever before. You guys that are all, by the way, military age, I hope you don't get into World War III because you might be drafted under the current circumstance.
That was
and you guys might laugh, but think about who is endorsing Kamala Harris. Dick Cheney, Leon Panetta, Liz Cheney. These are the warmongers of 20 years ago. That
was an American citizen. So I mean, we don't have real. That was some methed out fucking crazy lady. That specific video. They do say that it is happening or was happening in Springfield, Ohio. I think it was. I don't think we have anybody. Should we try to find it? Let's try to find it. Let's see. Because it was going around woman eating cat. Yeah. This was going around, and people were saying that this was connected. So this was September 11th.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Now back to our other top story. Last night, President Trump doubled down on claims that Haitian immigrants are eating pets in Springfield, Ohio. Our verified team confirmed with the Springfield mayor that these claims are false. We will talk more on this in just a moment.
But first, here's the thing. The claims stem
from... There's a video in here.
August 16th, Canton police responded to disturbing 911 calls.
He killed the cat and is eating it.
Multiple people reported 27-year-old Alexis Farrell was eating a cat on the 1100 block of 13th Street Southeast in Canton.
Stand up.
Officers on scene placed Farrell in handcuffs as a crowd of onlookers watched.
Put your hands behind your back. Someone got rubber gloves. She's covered in blood.
Police believe she killed the cat before eating it. One writing they saw.
Is that better or worse? That she killed the cat before eating it? I don't really know.
Blood on Alexis's feet, hands, and fur on her lips.
But the people around here knew her. They like, Alexis, get up. Like, what are you doing? Like, da-da-da-da. Like, they know for sure that wasn't her right mind.
Neighbors recall it as a deeply unsettling night for their neighborhood, speculating Farrell may have been on drugs or experiencing a mental health crisis. Now, Alexis Farrell is in jail today.
So that was, that was not Haitian. But again, I do believe that it was happening. I don't think we have any hard proof, but what proof do you want? They're eating the evidence.
Got us into these wars. So I am not fear-mongering here, guys. The people that got us into these failed wars, by the way, this is 9/11 today, and we remember what happened on 9/11, and then we remember our terrible reaction on 9/11 when we decided to invade Iraq and Afghanistan. Let us never do that again. Let us never invade sovereign countries. Amen. And I think you would sympathize with that.
And here we are.
And
now again, if we are in a situation where it's not a war, it was a surgical strike type of thing, then I don't like it. But it's not a forever war. It's not a regime change. Well, I mean, I guess it's a regime change war. But, it's not the type of regime change war that was so detrimental to America. But if it goes further, I was trying to think, because, when he tried to cover up the Epstein stuff, that's when I took the MAGA hat out of my frame. But if he keeps going, I don't know. I might. I'm trying to think of a way to be like, I don't know, because that's gonna look like I'm anti. I don't know. Whatever.
This never invade sovereign countries.
Amen.
And I think you would sympathize with that.
I agree.
And this is why we're seeing Bobby Kennedy, Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, people that are card-carrying Democrats, vote for Trump and voice support for Trump, because what's happening at the Democrat Party is this very sinister combination. It's a party of censorship, it's a party of war, a party of open borders that is against actual traditional liberal values.
I agree.
So which way are you leaning?
Can I get a hat?
That's a good answer.
There we go. One vote at a time, baby.
Thank you.
Hi, Charlie.
I think this is number 6. Number 6 out of 10. The top 10 Charlie Kirk moments. One more time. Probably not the last time. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. 6 months gone.
I will. 1 sec. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I just have a question kind of based on affirmative action. I'm a computer engineer here at UW-Madison. I'm about to graduate. And there's a lot that I've found through research and just general, I guess, my studies. Not only does affirmative action like help, minorities, people of color, but also women in general. And there's a lot of facets of engineering, the medical system, and other factors that, because of affirmative action, have helped. I'll just go into something. For example, let's say like in the medical field, endometriosis, something like that has not been studied in women due to so little women being in the medical field. Also, for example, like cars, the seatbelt is made specifically for the male body. They're only tested with male mannequins. So a lot of women are in risk of dying in car crashes at a higher rate. There's a lot of things that benefit from a diverse group of people, both in engineering and medical fields and education and other facets of the systems. And I was just wondering, without affirmative action, how do you think we can bring these people in to bring a variety of opinions?
Yeah, no, I mean,
views?
just
freshman 115. She was likely fatter before as well.
have a meritocracy, right? So you have 3 white men around you. You can see 1 through 3. So if one supports affirmative, no, it's okay. If one supports affirmative action,
right,
it would mean that you would be okay turning to those 3 men and saying, I deserve the position more than you based on something that doesn't matter more
Not
than something that does
necessarily.
matter.
I feel like
No, yes, necessarily.
that's one facet of it that we're not also paying attention to, is that people that are graduating from the same schools. They're graduating with the same degrees.
With lower test scores, though, much lower. Every study of affirmative action, for example, the Harvard case showed that it was nearly 40% lower test scores for people of color versus their white male counterparts and Asian counterparts.
And so how
at
can
some point,
is that like why would that happen? Do you think
why?
it's yeah?
Why
What
would
causes that? Do you think it's just because like
Well,
people of color are more like stupid?
No,
or,
of
like,
course not.
Right.
I mean, people of color come from lower socioeconomic backgrounds that don't prioritize education. as
So
much,
how do we
but
fix
that's
those
not-
socioeconomic statuses?
Right, that's an interesting point. Not should we try to penalize white males that are competent
Right.
to go run our systems and our institutions.
And so what you see is very often the issues that the right and the left have are not all that different. It's the solutions that are that different. And so if we can agree that we all think that bad schools are bad, that we want education to be good, then that's at least a bedrock. And then from there, we can argue, okay, what is good education? Do we need to have kink education in 5th grade? But it's when they think that we don't even want kids to be well educated or whatever it is that they fucking think. That's why they're so fucking antagonistic. Because they think we're evil.
So those are 2 different things. So what we're doing is our institutions are now becoming less excellent. Our country is not working like it used to because we basically told people that are very qualified and very competent that, sorry, we're not going to put a position for you here. For example, the U.S. Secret Service. Let me just give you one example, okay? We can all agree that protecting a president, whether it's Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, is super important, right? But now the Secret Service has said that we want to have 30% of all our agents be women, which, by the way, they have lower fitness criteria. So they have less pull-ups, less push-ups, slower mile time.
Oh yeah, that's something that's due to like your
Hold on.
like,
Exactly. Yeah, no, but this is affirmative action, right? And so therefore, when
well, there's like fields like I don't think that's a good. One second. I just don't think that's a good example because like women will never be as strong as men, at least genetically.
So that's an interesting
I
question.
think it should be something that's more like
women be as good at engineering as men, person for person?
not necessarily, but
Okay, well then, how is that different than the
There
Secret
you
Service
go.
example?
well, the problem is that
Because
for
the male mind is wired different than the female mind. By the way, men will never be as good. Hold on, I'll prove it to you.
See, and like again, male minds and female minds are wired differently. You believe this because you think that a man can be in the wrong body and have a female brain. But when it's presented to you in a different context, if men and women don't have different brains at all, then trans does not make sense.
Mind is wired
I mean, she's wearing a MAGA hat, so maybe I'm being a little bit assumptive, but still.
different than the female mind. By the way, men will never be as good. Hold on, I'll prove it to you. Men will never be as good at counseling or psychology sessions as women. Men will never be good at nursing or elementary school education as women. We have certain giftings because our brain is wired a certain way. Women are far better gifted at micro topics, so individual connection, empathetic type conversations, healing people that past trauma and wound. Men are much better at macro topics, right? Trying to build a building, put a skyscraper up, trying to talk geopolitics. And I'll prove it to you. When you go and you see 5 women eating lunch, they're probably talking about micro topics, conversations they had, relationships, friendships. Men.
Go stop chasing people the fuck away. I'm trying to get people to watch the show. Why are you calling them gay and fucking all that shit? Chill out. I'm trying to get more people to watch, not less people to watch.
They're talking about politics, sports, or the stock market.
that's not necessarily
Oh,
true.
yes. You guys all agree, right?
I mean, there's a reason.
No,
I'm
these
here.
these are bimodal general truths, right? Of course there's exceptions, but
It's not a general truth, though.
The exception makes the rule.
I feel like women have the capability of having political conversations.
Of course they do, but it's not the general wiring or nature of
It's
women.
not. There's no wiring for your brain to like Donald Trump. Like, that's not a real thing.
Like, maybe not specifically, but if your brain is wired a certain way, that's going to have you have this value and that belief and so on and so forth, and that aligns with what Donald Trump is saying, then yes, it will. So if you are on the landscape stream, we are about to shut it down. I dropped the link in the chat if you can get it there. Sometimes it doesn't work, so it is in the description. Come on over. The landscape stream is done. Come on over to the landscape. Again, I just dropped the link. Link is in the description. Come on over. The party rages on. And we are done.